Hi, everyone. Welcome to our final Alice
Yeah,
Oseman
so
Knows Me
there.
Along, unknown, untitled Alice Oseman Read Along live stream where we have finished Loveless
Oh,
with,
that's
with
my
the
cue.
many taps.
Oh, look, we did the same colors. Are yours like pink and purple?
Mine are pink and purple. I was
So
doing
are
purple
mine.
at the very end. I started to run out of the purple
So
one.
did I.
Oh no, we got to trade. But this is it, y'all. This is my favorite book ever, and it was the grand finale, and so I had to host this one.
Wait, mine's half page.
Everyone who's here, put down below what you rated this book. Just give me. I will be heartbroken if it's less than perfect, but
So Katie rated it 3 stars. I know it's kind of disappointing.
no, it's a solid like 2-star book for me.
Anya, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead to comments, but I see, should I create an Alice Oseman book tag? And I think the answer is obviously yes.
Always yes. Always. This starts at 12 a.m. for me. Oh my god. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Hi, Anya. Hi, Anna. Hi. Hi. Go to sleep. You should always, always, always create an Alice Oseman book tag. I will be there.
Alice Oseman anything. Here I am.
4.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty solid. 5 out of 5. Solid. 5 stars. Solid. I gave it 5 stars because it came for my neck. Alice really said, "This is about you." And I said, "Oh no."
I also gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars both times. I don't think it's my I don't want to say it's not my favorite Alice Oseman book, but that doesn't mean it's not perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know? But
it doesn't have to be your favorite. It is my favorite. Yeah. Hello. Okay.
For the woke, literally.
Okay, welcome. Welcome to the first stream. And I feel if radio silence is your favorite, cool. If I was born for this is your favorite, also cool. If solitaire is your favorite, we gotta examine that.
Yeah, that's
we gotta really take a moment. Oh yeah, we should before the end of this, we should rank.
This is stressful. I'm gonna have to think about this for the whole live show.
Yeah, I will be thinking about it for the next couple minutes, and then I will rank them. So everyone, think about your rankings, and then we'll come back to that. We'll do that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come back to me.
All right. So, anyone you have some thoughts?
Oh, I have many thoughts. Mm-hmm. So my first thought is yes, obviously. This was not published when I started reading Alice Oseman. So like this was the first Alice Oseman book I had the pleasure of, waiting for it to come out and like pre-order it. And it did live up to my expectations. I love that it was set in a college/university because that was a bit more relatable to me, current me. And I thought asexuality was portrayed really nicely. I love that there is aromanticism too, and I loved all the friendship and the drama and all the figuring yourself out stuff. Yeah, I could go on forever.
Yeah, so this was last year when I read this. I like pre-ordered this. This was the first Alice Oseman I'd ever read, but I was so excited for the sheer premise of the book that I ordered it, and then I had to change my address like 3 times because I moved so much between when I pre-ordered it and then when it came out. And I love this book. It didn't let me down. It's the best book I've ever read because it's about me. I was totally Georgia, and like there's things in this book that I feel like a lot of authors who write about being aro ace don't talk about. So there's like the moment that's so profound to me is when Georgia's like, spoilers, Georgia comes to terms with it, and then she realizes that she's just angry, but not about it, but at like the world and all of these, like everything. And I was like, I forgot that that's how I felt when I really realized, you know, because you sort of like block it out. And I was so glad that Alice Oseman highlighted that moment. So it's such a real moment that everyone that I know that's Arrow or Ace or both has been through.
Totally agree. And you know what? One of the many things that I really enjoyed about this book is, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I hear quite often that, like, you know, we have to stop with so many coming of age or coming out stories for queer characters. Like, we've been there, done that. There's a million of those. There are, but there are not. I can't think of any off the top of my head that deal with Arrow Ace characters like actually figuring out their identity very explicitly, where the entire plot revolves around that identity confusion. A lot of the Arrow Ace books I have read are either they use that sexuality as like a brief subplot, or it's kind of like implied. It's subtle. It's not a let me go through all the nitty-gritty details of me figuring out my identity. And that's cool.
And the other thing is, too, until pretty recently, there weren't a lot of Arrow Ace/Arrow Ace characters in books. But on top of that, the characters that were in it were usually side characters. And they weren't, you never really got to see their development.
Absolutely.
And so to actually go through all of the things that Georgia feels in this book and like her evolution and the like every stage of it is so powerful and so important to like just me specifically. I think it's important for everyone to read, but like this is that book where I'm like, this is accurate. It feels right.
Agreed.
I'm so behind on comments. Hello, Maury.
Maury, I think you would really like it.
You should read it.
Maury.
I do too. For real. Yeah.
We already have.
A few days ago, I realized that the dot on the I in Alice's. Oh, it is a heart on this one.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
That's so soft. I love
heart. I say this every live show, but Alice Oseman really won with the covers here.
This is one of my favorite covers too, because I love the hearts going up.
Also, this posture, I feel that. That's just how I look naturally when I'm standing up.
It's just a really good cover.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
It's like a sleepover right now.
It's like a sleepover right now, except it's 3 p.m. For me. Loveless broke me. It took a piece of my heart and broke it and then put it back together. Yes. This is how when I read the book for the first time, it was at the time like the only book that had ever made me like sob. Like I was like so connected to this because it was my story kind of, where I always was like, I don't care about the romance thing in like my high school stuff, but I never noticed it. And then I went to college and then I realized for real and had like pretty much the entire same spiral of events. Not really, but like similar. And then like even to the point where like my best friend is my college roommate and like all of those kinds of things. So like just the amount of things in this book that I was like, this is about me was insane.
Also just like the whole, okay, I don't know you that well, but like the whole theater thing, I don't know if you did. Yeah, I was like, I see why Katie might
Not only that, this is going to sound like something that I'm making for the live show, and I know that, but it's absolutely 1000% true, and I'm not making this up.
Go for it.
My favorite movie of all time is Moulin Rouge. It has been since I was in the 7th grade.
So basically what I'm hearing is Alice Oseman wrote this for you specifically. That was upside down and backwards.
She stalked me.
For you. This was for Katie Can't Read, everyone.
She stalked me. And
that's awesome.
I do have like a full review of this book on my channel somewhere, but I said in that I'm like, I was like, this is like the diary that I never kept. And that was like my big takeaway of this book. So like when people really hate this book, I take it personally.
Good. It's like they hate you. Every time people rate books that I relate to badly, I'm like, oh, well, you wouldn't like me.
Oh, well, we wouldn't get along. Sad. Next time. I haven't seen Jenna Claire K's review on Loveless yet because I know it'll make me cry. Hello. Mm-hmm. 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 I have not, but I would like to.
I feel like a lot of there's a lot of contemporary aro ace, but I feel like the other genre is fantasy, and I don't like fantasy. It makes me sad.
Although some of my favorite aro ace books I've read have been fantasy books. Like, sometimes they pull it off so well.
I'll have to look into that.
It's just so good.
I know this is kind of a big word to put on one YA/new adult book, but low-key, it felt kind of revolutionary to me because, you know, when you read a book and you're like, oh, this was like unique, like one of a kind, whatever. No, this was like literally something I've never ever read before in a book. And I read a lot of books, okay? And this is the very, very first time I've read a book that explored these themes so explicitly in this way.
And the other thing too that I realized, because I've read a fair amount of ace books, I haven't read all of them, but I've read a lot. I feel like a lot of the times when it's more of like a coming out, exploring yourself story, that's not the main plot. It's sprinkled into a main plot.
Absolutely.
Whereas for this one, there's a theater plot sprinkled into the coming out plot, which I think is so important and something that we don't see enough, especially for books about aro ace characters.
Yes.
Especially for that. This is true. Alice Oseman themed sleepover is what these have always been. I'm excited for this. Sad. You have to buy it.
You should. It's really pretty. It's very nice to hold. It looks pretty on shelves.
It's really smooth.
You can put it anywhere to nice decoration.
It holds really well.
Cover, very smooth.
The font is really nice.
Beautiful font. Very like nice size. It's abnormally it's a British paperback, but
so it feels small in my American hands, but it's a good size.
I think we should get paid for this promo here. We're doing a great job.
I know I need to read Summerbird Blue. I know this.
Read Summerbird Blue. Everyone bully Katie.
I'm going to. I made my friend read Loveless. Oh,
while we're there,
she wanted to give it to me for my birthday, but I already owned it, so she kept it. Now she's reading it.
That's
yay! That's when the US edition of Loveless finally comes out in like 3-ish months. I will be buying it and giving it to everyone I know.
Oh yeah,
I'll be like, here, a gift.
You know what I did yesterday? My coworker and I were talking about graphic novels, and I mentioned Heartstopper, and she's like, "Oh, okay, that sounds good." And I was like, "No, you need to read it, like actually." So I sent her a link during work, and she was my supervisor. I saw her read the whole entire thing during work on my place of employment's supervisor computer. Whole thing, the entire shift. She didn't do a thing, just read Heartstopper.
Legendary. That's me. Short people.
Well,
this is an important question. Kiss, marry, kill, Loveless, Solitaire, Radio Silence.
That's easy.
I'm gonna marry Loveless, kiss Radio Silence, and kill Solitaire.
Okay. Kill Solitaire. I know this is kind of
we're flipping
ironic, but kiss Loveless, and then marry Radio Silence.
Yay, I'm glad she's loving it. I have recommended this to people like so many times. Like when people are like, oh my gosh, I want to read a book that like I'll get a DM from someone. They're like, I want to read a book that you like. And I'm like, okay, read Loveless. And then I'll get like messages and people are like, this is the saddest book I've ever read. I'm like, no, it is not. I had someone tell me that. They're like, why is this book so sad? I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, it's really not that sad. It's like,
I can understand like the middle getting sad because you're sad for her, like you're empathizing. But at the same time, it's not a sad book. That's the whole point. That's what makes it so beautiful. Is that it's not sad, it's hopeful. all hail the Loveless cover. And you know what, too? The redesign that they're giving the United States is also beautiful. So I'm okay with it. Because Alice drew it. I'm excited. I will be doing it. I will be doing it. The US cover is so good. So good. If you had to force one Alice Oseman character into the Twilight universe as Bella Swan, who?
I didn't read or watch Twilight. I cannot answer.
I am not the biggest Twilight fan, but for comedy's sake of just like, I think I would put Georgia just because I think it'd be hilarious for her to be in the middle of that love triangle, but then like her be completely herself.
Wait, I know enough about Twilight to recognize that is funny.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, even it has a hopeful ending.
I feel like
it's not a sad book.
Like if I don't cry that much during books, but if I was feeling an emotion, it was more because I've like related to it, you know? Like it felt seen, not because I was sad.
Ellen, where the hell have you been, Loca? I want to scream. I think you can. I'm not positive. I haven't pre-ordered it, but I'm pretty sure you can.
I literally just looked at it while I was reading Loveless. You can now.
Nice. Nice. So let's discuss the other characters, the other things and themes. And this is also, I feel like, the most fleshed out of Alice's full cast of characters.
Yeah, agreed. Besides Heartstopper, I feel like Heartstopper is pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe I Was Born for this out of her prose novels is close, because at least the band boys all have very distinct personalities and bliss in them. But I would say that these ones are the most, I don't know, they feel so real. Like all of them.
Agreed.
Because like at least in like Radio Silence, like we were talking about how the side characters didn't have any strong personality traits and all that. Whereas in this one, I felt like everyone had a strong personality. And I liked all of them. I was like, you guys are all so fun to be around. I would like to be your friend. And there's Pan Rep.
Yes. I think the Pan Rep, when I see bad reviews, like there's like the mediocre reviews, just people saying, it wasn't my thing. But like the 1-star reviews I've seen, and I think we already talked about this, so you've seen the same reviews, they've been regarding the Pan Rep, and people have said like, oh, you know, this is harmful, you're perpetuating stereotypes that Pan people, you know, can't decide or sleeping around and stuff, But
I feel like also, I don't know, I've seen that review. I've seen like a couple. Because what I do to when I'm bored is I'll go on Goodreads and read all of 1-star reviews, as everyone does. And the 1-star reviews of Loveless, like I can't read anymore just because they make me so angry because they're like missing a couple points. And rereading it, knowing what people's 1-star reviews are, I was looking for the things that they point out. Just to like, not to like lower my own rating, but just to be like, are they right or was I clouded the whole time? Yeah. I think the Pan Rep is interesting because I can see where that comes from, but I also don't think there's a single moment where Rooney's like, I can't decide, or like, oh, I just, you know, I feel like it's that I never got that vibe from her, you know?
Also,
at least for me.
I almost feel like those reviews are the ones perpetuating those stereotypes, because nowhere in the book was it like, oh yeah, you're sleeping around because you're pansexual, you know, you're all the sexual, you're doing everything. Like,
in fact, even when she was sleeping around, she was only sleeping with guys.
Exactly.
I don't think that's just her being her. That has nothing to do with the pansexual part. Because if it was, then it would have been more along the lines of, she sleeps with everyone. That's really not cute, you know, like, whereas it was like, she sleeps with everyone, and good for her. Like, that was like George's internal monologue. I've also heard a lot of things about this one, which I did notice.
Yeah.
With Sunil's pronouns, I noticed this time, which I don't know why they only used he pronouns throughout, but I also like when it's a limited character, like a single brain character, though, I'm also like, maybe the character just doesn't know yet, you know? And then I've also heard people, this was the other criticism I read a lot, was when people talk about this book and then they're like, I can't believe this book is horrible representation for aro aceness because it doesn't represent, or no, it says the only way you could be is a sex repulsed aro ace. And I said, I don't think that was in it. Like, I read like 3 or 4 reviews where people were like, no, this only perpetuates one type of being ace. And I was like, no,
it's only one person.
It's only one person. And even then, there's a whole like 2 chapters. First of all, there are 2 ace characters in the book, and Sunil has a completely different relationship with his sexuality than George does.
At least there's a main character, a side character, a side of the side.
Oh, the cousin too.
Yeah.
Different.
No, there's another one because Sunil had his friends. Like,
she's aromantic.
Oh, she's aromantic. Well, so we had 4 people on the ace
4 people. Yeah.
Spectrum.
And then on top of that, there's that whole chapter where she's Googling it. And she's like, oh, there's all these different things you can be. And I was like, are these people just mad because it's not their personal story and you're not finding your own representation?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you can write another book yourself.
This is like when people go, this is bad representation because I can't relate to it, is my favorite criticism of like an Own Voices book ever.
Yeah.
Because like, of course you're not going to relate to it. It's based off of like one person's story and then it's one character's story. It's not like a nonfiction educational Google search.
Yeah. I also feel like, I'm not justifying the reviews, but I also feel like there was just like a lot of pressure on this book because it was kind of one of the first books of this kind that's been, recently published. And like people had really high hopes for it because it was so, revolutionary in a sense. But
yeah, I didn't get that interpretation at all. While I agree that a single book is never going to represent a whole community, I do think it explored the community better than anything else. I agree. I completely really agree because like I've read other ace books where I didn't relate to it personally, but I wasn't like mad at it. I was like, it's a different character.
And also this book does such a good job of like addressing the other ways asexuality and aromanticism can be experienced. Yeah. Even if it wasn't George's experiences.
It goes through all the different experiences, whereas like, have you read Let's Talk About Love?
Nope, but I own it. Haven't gotten there yet.
That was like, I don't know, that one disappointed me a little bit. Still a good book, highly recommend, but it disappointed me personally because it was just like, it didn't go into like anything about, like she was an asexual character, but then it was like slightly a coming out story, but she had already been out. And so it was like the weirdest like thing ever. And I liked it, but it disappointed me because I was, I don't know, it's hard to read coming out ace books after you start with this. I know. When this is the first one you read.
I'm too young for my back to hurt this much. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting in bed. Okay, it'll be on my lap.
Yes. And I'm a subjective rater. Completely and entirely, all of my ratings come off of the vibes and not the actual content of the book. But even when I can't relate to a book or it doesn't strike a chord in me or whatever, it still is a good book and I can acknowledge that. I'm like, that was a good book. I liked it. 3 stars because I didn't connect to it.
Yeah, that's why I've been putting it off. I've heard a lot of people say, it's okay, not my favorite.
I did know that she was out as ace though to her friends as well. So the thing that I didn't like about Let's Talk About Love, and I'll just go into this for like 4 seconds just as a comparison. What I didn't like about Let's Talk About Love is that I was anticipating a romance with an asexual character in the core of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a coming out story. And there wasn't a lot of romance. It was a lot of... She already knew that she was biromantic and asexual in the very first page of the first chapter. And then we, as readers, re-explored the entire thing. When I'm like, if you already know this about yourself, can't we just get into, like, trying to make it work with a romance? And not you trying to figure it out to make a romance happen? Like, it was a weird time. I think that asexual people, regardless of romantic attractions, should be allowed to be the leads of a romance novel, because why not? And so that was what disappointed me. Partially because I went in with a wrong expectation.
If anyone, mainly Katie, has recommendations for that, let me know. Or if you have videos specifically on that, send me your way.
Yeah. Books are better for an individual when they personally relate, but that's what makes people's favorite books. But even if you don't 100% connect with a character, you can appreciate the story. Absolutely. I give out so many 5 stars. I know people watch my wrap-ups and they're like, Katie.
Just have a lot of love to give.
It's not pie. I can't give out if you give out 5 stars, you don't run out. Everything is 5 stars. I need to read Felix Ever After.
Oh,
I would really like
yes.
to. It's on my list.
I read that. Like, I downloaded from the library because I liked the cover. Like, before anyone really talked about it, so I didn't know what it was. Downloaded like 11 p.m. for a nighttime story. I pulled an all-nighter just to finish it. It was one of those.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there. What about Pip and Rooney? Let's discuss.
Okay.
Because that one's so good. Although I like I like them a lot, but I almost feel like their story, it takes over a lot of the main story, and that's my only issue with it.
So, have you read either She Drives Me Crazy or Some Girls Do?
Not yet, but they're on the list.
So, like, both of those are just the only sapphic enemies to lovers, like rivalry kind of thing that I've recently read. And I feel like I really would have liked Pip and Rooney as like their own separate story to see rivalry, whatever it's called, enemies to lovers. Because I just love all the bantering and the confusion and the sudden realization. But particularly in Loveless, it wasn't my favorite because I wasn't reading Loveless for them, you know?
I agree. I think it was put in, I think it's an interesting thing, and I do think it was a good catalyst for all the drama that happened. Like, if they weren't having feelings, then the drama wouldn't happen for the whole book. But at the same time, it almost feels like Alice was worried that her book wouldn't sell or be impactful if non-Arrow Ace readers couldn't find a romance in there to prove, to force. But I do like them. I think they're fun.
They're fun characters. They just... I think instead of the solitaire novellas, I would have loved a Loveless novella on their relationship.
I've heard a rumor.
You've heard a rumor? Oh.
I've heard a rumor that there might be one in the back of the US copy.
That's a good rumor.
I don't know for sure, but I have a hunch.
Okay, good to know.
I have a hunch. Based on like an Instagram story I saw Alice put on their story of like a word count with the word Loveless on the top of the screen.
Interesting.
So let's hope for the best. I do love how it ends with them all getting a house together. I think that's just the cutest ending ever. It's my dream in life, to share a house with my friends. I do want to read these. I like it.
I do not agree with what you just said, Anya. I think She Drives Me Better was better than Some Girls Do. But okay. T.
The girls are fighting. You're right. I don't like enemies to lovers, but Pip and Rooney is fun as heck. Normalize giving every book 5 stars if you personally feel it's 5 stars. Yes, every book is 5 stars unless I don't like it. And then it is 4 stars. Because I feel bad because someone put their entire life into working on this.
I so feel that. I will never give it. I almost never give 1 stars for that reason. I've had Goodreads for over 7 years now. I've probably given 5 1-star reviews.
It's only if I really hate a book. So I really hated American Royals, so that got a really low score.
Oh, really?
I hated American Royals. I hated, what was it? Again But Better. I hated that book. So that was really bad.
I'll only give it, even if I hate a book, I'll usually give it 2 stars. 1 star is as if, even the writing is garbage. Clearly, there was no editor, nothing. Otherwise, I feel so bad.
I'll only give 1 stars when I'm really, angry. When I just really hated it. I actually really liked how their story intersected with George's. I completely agree. I agree that I think that their story was very important in showing how platonic love and romantic love are equally important and just beautiful in their own ways because we got to see that through Rooney, who got to experience romantic love and platonic love. And I think it's beautiful in that regard.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But Rise of the Sun wasn't terrible. I still gave it 4 stars. I was just expecting it to be the book to change me, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I hate when that happens. When you're
a lot of mine this year.
This is going to be the book, and then it's not the book. It's not the moment. Honey
Girl, I was looking forward to that so much. Gave it 3 stars, but if I'm going to be honest, it was 2.
So many people have feelings about Honey Girl, and it makes me scared to read it, so I will not.
Honestly, it's not worth it.
I will not. I bet I will try.
Better write that book. No, I'm kidding.
Better write that book. Better finish it so I can read it. We love to see platonic and romantic love being equated. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Although, I think platonic love is better. But, it's just me. You know, when you read a book and, there's no friendship in it, just romance, and you're like, what's the point? What am I doing here?
What are the 4 characters going to do when they inevitably break up? Now you have no friends. It's sad.
Now you have no friends.
So mean to me.
I don't like Again But Better. I gave that book away. I bought it full price, read it, and immediately donated it. I could not even look at it on my shelf.
Disappointing because it had a really cute cover.
It did have a cute cover. Of course it received hype. I didn't realize she was a booktuber until after I read it because I was so out of the booktube loop. And then I was like, wait, LOL. And then which was fine because I didn't have any tie to her, so I could be very mean about it. Will I read her next book? I will not. But if you read it, message me your thoughts. I get you. I got you. Romantic love is not a higher tier. Platonic love should be. But it's fine. It's fine.
Plain Bad Heroines. Plain Bad Heroines by, what's her name? Emily Danforth. This was the book that made me realize how much I lied to myself. It took me months. I mean, literally months to get through the book. I had an arc. Couldn't get through the arc. Checked out the book from my library. Couldn't get through the physical book. Checked out the audiobook. Forced myself through the audiobook. I wasn't even listening to it. It was just noise. And then I still gave it 2 stars. Just because I was reading it for so many months, I felt like it had to be worth something,
That was me with The one that it was The Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow.
Whoa,
that was another book I bought and then donated immediately after I finished it because I hated it. But I didn't like anything about it. As I was reading it, I'm like, this is so boring. I don't like this. And then it didn't explore any of the things I was hoping it would explore. But I still gave it 2 stars.
I've been starting to, like, usually I'm lazy with reviews, but I've been forcing myself to just write a few sentences, even if it's like 2 sentences. Because as I'm writing reviews, like, collecting my thoughts, I'll be like, wait a second. I literally don't have a single nice thing to say. Why did I give this 4 stars? Like, and then I'll change my rating. Lore, for example. Lore, I originally gave 4 stars, and as I was writing my review, I was like, actually, I didn't like it, and I gave it 3 stars, and then I read my review, I was like, no, I didn't say anything positive, so I dropped it down to 2.
I loved Lore, and I'm sorry that you didn't like it, but I loved it.
I just didn't like that genre in general. I don't know why I requested it.
It's okay. That's all you. But like, I loved it.
It's all my fault.
Me too, Maury. Me too. I would rather have friends. Thoughts on Jason? I love him. Best boy. This is what I was going to say. Jason and Nick are the same kind of cute trope.
The golden retriever character.
The golden retriever boy. I love specifically Jason's love of Scooby-Doo. I just think it's funny and so relatable. Those friends you have who have like a really specific interest and it's like everything to them.
Mm-hmm.
I love when authors aren't afraid to go there, even if it's a pop culture reference, Yeah. I feel like specifically too. Scooby-Doo. I was going to say SpongeBob. I'm like, that's not what he likes. Scooby-Doo is such especially for like our generation, a lot of people do really love Scooby-Doo. But it was also weird because no one really loves it to his extent, which was so cute. I thought he was endearing and wonderful and such a sweet character. And the way that he cares about his friends. Soft boy. I gave the Off-Campus series and the Grishaverse 5 stars.
What is the Off-Campus series? Wait, is that the shirtless dude?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day I'll read a shirtless man book, but that day's
those are those romance books. They're like new adult romance, I think.
Yeah, but so it's like the headless torso kind of book, right?
Yes. It's a shirtless man book.
My Kindle loves to push those on me when I turn off my Kindle. They're like, you need a shirtless man book.
Like, are you drooling? I'm like, target audience not reached.
I was so embarrassed when I like bring my Kindle places and it turns off. And, like all of a sudden, that's what's on my screen. I'm like, no, I'm not reading that.
You're like, this isn't what I'm reading.
It's not targeted ads.
J-Dog is my relatable king. That's so funny.
I like this last comment.
Golden Retriever boy is ruining the possibility of me finding a boyfriend since day one. And girls are not a possibility here because everyone is straight. Oh, I'm sorry. Golden Retriever boy is out there for you.
Just got a Golden Retriever
girl. Just get a Golden Retriever. That's what I'm going to do. And those torso books allow me to avoid speaking to men in real life. Applause. Golden Retriever boys are my favorite. I have literally made a list and I'm ready to make Golden Retriever boys too. Because I made part 1 in like November. And I haven't done it.
This is what happens when I'm subscribed to 1 million people and follow 1 million people on Twitter. I miss quality content. I'm going to go back and watch your videos, like your older videos.
I haven't made it. So the Golden Retriever Boy 1 went out like in November of last year. And I've been wanting to do
right now. Do you know what you called the video?
If you search my channel, if you type in Golden Retriever Boys, you'll find it. But I'm like, I have a list in my phone with like 8 more Golden Retriever boys that I've read since then, and I just need to sit down and film it, but I
Stop! This is so cute. Your thumbnail.
Oh, it was the best thumbnail I ever made.
Okay. We'll be
I may be Arrow Ace, but the dream is a golden retriever man.
Oh my. Sorry, this is so unrelated. But right under your video, when I googled golden retriever, Katie can't read. Oh, what the heck? Sorry, that's rude. We have this video. Oh, you can't see. You know, I'm not even going to show it on screen. It has nothing to do with golden retriever boys or dogs.
Part 2 coming soon. I have a list in my phone that needs to get put out there. I will find some golden retriever girlfriend books. I don't have any off the top of my head, but I can find some.
Solid.
There are golden retriever girls. However, I like to keep the lists for this golden retriever boys just because I think it's funnier.
I should keep lists of things. What the heck? I read so many books, then they leave my brain.
I just write them down like immediately when I see one. I'm like, haha, Jason. I also realized the other day that I like golden retriever boys, but also turtle boys.
Could you define turtle boy for me?
Yeah, it's like that nerd. It's like David from the Shadow and Bone trilogy.
Wait, I haven't read Shadow. I've only read the first one. Do you have another example?
No, he's the one.
Is it usually the geeky kind of character?
Geeky,
the awkward,
but like with no social skills.
Okay, so I think everyone should
but a heart of gold.
Read the Lorien Legacy series for that.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
Same.
Well, sorry, not to be critical, but why write a book? Like, you could choose any name in the world. You go, David. What a boring. Sorry if you're correct. Watching. Sorry.
You're correct. David is a boring name, but especially in the Grishaverse where everyone has really fabulous names.
If you're gonna write a fantasy book,
David.
Okay.
I appreciate it though, because I can pronounce it. This is a funny one because Adam Parrish technically isn't a turtle boy. He's way too like socially able to be a turtle boy, but I see what you're going for and I appreciate the effort and I love Adam Parrish.
Could we please tell me who that's from? Because for the longest
Raven Cycle.
Okay, for the longest time I thought that was from the Shatter Me series.
No.
Someone in Shatter Me has a name like that, similar.
But Adam Parrish is Raven Boys.
Okay.
This live stream will be ending.
I don't know who the character is, but I think I like that comment.
You know, Elise, you claim to be my friend.
Wait, which one is David from? That's not Raven.
Shadow and Bone.
Okay, I'll read him eventually. Yeah. Maybe before I go to college, before I go back into the world of school.
You don't have to read them. I'm just surprised you don't know when I literally mention him in like 90%.
No, I hear all these names, but like Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, Raven Cycle, I'm looking at them all on my shelf. Those are all the same. Court of Thorns and Roses, those are all the same books to me. Like, I don't know.
This is funny. And also, stop it. But okay, there's a difference between like exotic names and then like fantasy names that are just letters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know when you just see letters and you're like, oh, okay, so the author keyboard smashed and then said good and then went on with it. All right, we're talking about David. We're not talking about Loveless. Anyway, any more Loveless thoughts?
Let me just
grab my book
one time. Okay. Book. I think Katie and I have a bunch of tabs. I think we should go like this and say stop and then tell me if we tabbed. Ready?
Hey, wait, put a number.
Page number or something, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Put a number between like 1 and 32.
In counting I was doing.
In the chat, and then I will read that tab or describe that tab.
I can't count because mine are too close together. Katie, say stop.
Stop.
Okay, closest one is... What if I didn't... Sorry, I don't have my reading voice on. What if I really didn't like guys, and that was why this whole thing felt so difficult to navigate? That was really boring quote. Sorry. It's not a good
2,
one.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You got
8,
two
9,
14s. I want to do 14.
11, 12, 13, 14. Here's my 14. Okay, my 14 is, aha, I love this part. So this is, I'm trying to figure out where this is. Is this at the party? Okay, yes. So this is at the party. This is like 2 pages before Rooney and Georgia have their little kiss moment. And she says, the words were on the tip of my tongue because I'm aromantic and asexual, but it sounded clunky. They still felt like fake words in my brain, secret words, whispered words that didn't belong in the real world. And like, that's relatable. What's your 14?
Mine is also very relatable to me. Clubbing, college, marriage, sex, romance. I knew all this stuff was optional, but I wanted to have a completely normal university experience, just like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Love that one. So, and then Anya put in 18. My 18 is probably my favorite quote in the whole book. So this is right when she comes out to Sunil at the end of the Bailey ball or whatever. And it's the quote when Sunil says, "You're gonna be okay. There's nothing you have to do except be." And I just melted down the first time I read that. Do you want to do 32?
Oh, sure. I don't know how... I'm definitely not counting in order. 16, 17, 18. Okay, well, I'm going to guess this is 32.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Let me see the context. Give me 1 second. Okay. Don't, I said, just as she reached the door and she stopped and turned around to face me. We're talking about Rooney here. You know what I've learned, she said? Love ruins everything. I didn't agree, but I didn't know how to argue with a statement like that. So she left and I just said nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good one. And then I'm going to do, Ash said 16. So I'm going to do, this is, again, like the same scene, because everyone keeps giving me numbers in the same vicinity. So this is right before they kiss. I think. Yes, this is right before. And it says, she was annoying me. And I realized it was because what I was doing wasn't giving up. It was acceptance. And maybe, just maybe, that could be a good thing. That hit me. Good
quote, man. Pretty good one.
That hit me good this time. I agree. I did think that the usage of he, him exclusive pronouns for Sunil when they specified that they like he, they pronouns was not the best choice. But it's still 5 stars. That's like the only thing that annoyed me the entire book. I was like, well,
I liked the attempt. It could have just been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could have just been done a little bit better. But
I don't know any other books that mention even the existence of he, they pronouns. So I guess it's a start.
Mm-hmm. It's a start. It's a start.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You too.
The other day I was thinking, and I realized that basically every OSEMAN book has the same climax every time someone magically disappears in the main character's life.
Actually, wait.
It's dramatic every time.
And it is every time like a disappearance.
It is. I would actually say that I Was Born for this one is when Lister leaves. When Lister leaves the house and then goes and gets himself stabbed.
Yeah, that's what I would have said too.
Mm-hmm. I will have to read this. Putting it on, it's jumping up the TBR every time we talk about it.
Actually, that's true. I have read Felix Ever After.
Oh, Elise, we got to rank them.
Oh,
I'm staring at mine. I'll just go really fast.
I know, I'm staring at mine on my shelf.
I'm going to go really fast.
Okay.
Loveless. Second place, I Was Born for This. Third place, Heartstopper. Fourth place, Radio Silence. I'm so sorry. Fifth place, Solitaire. Sixth place, This Winter. Last place, Nick and Charlie. No, Nick and Charlie, then This Winter.
Okay. And we're doing all the Heartstopper volumes as one, right?
Yes. Heartstopper's one story to me.
First place, Radio Silence. Second place, Heartstopper.
Mm-hmm.
Third place, Loveless. Oh, this feels wrong. Fourth, I don't like this. I'm never returning. Fourth place, I Was Born for This. Fifth place is the revised version of Solitaire. Sixth place, This Winter. Last place, Nick and Charlie. I hated that. Never make me do
that was really hard. I was like, oh, I just realized I put Radio Silence really low.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, I can't fix it.
This that low, that hurt a bit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I gave them all 5 stars. I mean,
I want to read The Ghosts We Keep so bad because I loved I Wish You All the Best.
Get ready
to be
in pain, though.
Oh, that's why I'm scared to read it.
Also, if anyone reads it does have really graphic self-harm. So just putting that just in case anyone was interested in reading it.
Powerful.
But otherwise, it's very good.
Good to know. Thank you for throwing that out there. Anyway, any other thoughts on this? Let's find another quote because that was fun. Okay, tell me when to stop.
Okay, ready? Stop. Mm-hmm. Stop.
I stopped.
Oh, okay. Can tell.
What's this one? Ah, yes. This is like my favorite part. Okay, so this is right when, when she's angry, right? Like the first time. So it's kind of like this whole like half page. It was, how could I feel so sad about giving up these things that I did not actually want? I felt pathetic for getting sad about it. I felt guilty knowing there were people out there like me who were happy being like this. I felt like I was grieving. I was grieving this fake life, a fantasy future that I was never going to live. I had no idea what my life would be like now, and that scared me. God, that scared me so, so much.
It's really
just such a good one.
I wish I did different colors because I've bookmarked like favorite scenes and then like quotes are related to, but also quotes that were just really well written, and now I don't know which one's which. Okay. All right, I'll do my last one. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
This is one that I just related to. Nothing particularly powerful. I just don't get it, I said. You're very interesting, said Rooney to Jason, and very boring at the same time because you never do anything. That's all I bookmarked. Just because I felt that interesting, so just don't do anything.
Okay, one more. Tell me when to stop.
Ready?
Wait, hold on, let me start over. Ready?
Yep. Stop.
Dun, 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 dun. So this one is one I personally related to because I'll go on, I don't know. So it was when Sunil is defending asexuality to that other former Pride president,
Yeah.
So this is just like the 2 lines when Georgia she says, a word that had sparked something in my brain. I finally made the connection because I went through that where I was like, oh, cool. All right, you want to do one more?
Yes. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Wait, let me start at the front. Okay, go.
Stop.
Okay, this is just another one I related to. It's literally just okay. Rooney took a long sip of her beer, then leaned closer to Pip. You don't strike me as much of a fighter. Is that a dig at my height? Just saying. I think you might naturally be at a disadvantage compared to most people. Ah, but I have the short person anger advantage. Rooney smirked. Can't relate. As your fellow 4'11" booktuber, I felt that.
as a 5 foot tall, no inches person, I was like, yes, a short person
You
power.
look like you should be like 5'8". You're lying. Definitely tall.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Yay, vaccination.
Pants that are the right size, like right height. Like
you gotta roll them, and it's horrible. And if cuffing your pants ever goes out of fashion, I will die.
That's how I've been rolling.
Loveless, Heartstopper, I was born for this. Radio Silence, Solitaire. That's a good order.
Oh wait, you're almost there. Okay.
Loveless, I was born for this. Heartstopper this winter. You haven't read any of those yet? Fair enough. Wait. Okay, fair enough.
I like to describe myself as a golden retriever on BookTube and a chihuahua in real life.
Ew, a chihuahua? Terrible choice. Terrible choice. Chihuahuas are the only dogs I don't like.
Well, got news for you. I'm kidding. Oh, well. Hey, Katie, you want to stand or sit on my shoulder or something? We can fight.
Yeah. I'll stand. I'll fight. That's so fun. Oh, to be tall. Alas. Alas.
I had to bring a ladder to me to college so I could reach the top of my closet. I wish I was kidding.
you know when you have to like push chairs and use them as step stools?
Of course. I need a ladder every time I want to reach the top of my bookshelf.
Such a time. Terrible. Anyway, I love Loveless. I have to get ready for work soon.
Katie has a big boy job, so
I have a big boy job. And I have to go to work. Anyway, thank you for coming, everyone.
Our very last live show.
I'm happy we did this. This was so much fun.
This was really fun.
And we should do it every year.
I agree. And if Alice Oseman comes up with another book at some point in life, we will return. Don't unfollow us on Twitter.
We'll be back. I think we should do it again right before the Heartstopper show premieres.
Or even just like do like a little like readathon type thing. Something. Keep it going. Maybe I just want to be on your channel again. Who knows?
Like maybe we can arrange that.
Yay.
We can arrange that.
Yes, this is the last one.
Yeah, this is it. I will be making a playlist of all of our live streams and putting them on my channel like I did for the Grishaverse. So if you would like to go back and relive the wonderful times we have had.
Maybe I'll do that if I can figure out how to do that.
Absolutely can. Okay. Anyway, sub to Elise.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be sad. This was like my little highlight of my every 2 weeks.
I know, this was like the best.
It was fun to rapid fire read these right before the live show.
I actually did good on this one. I finished it yesterday.
So did I. It's impressive.
10 minutes ago. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for having these discussions with us for the past couple months. Thank you for rereading these with us. It has been a very, 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 very fun time. And I hope to see you around, everyone.
Me too.
I know I'll be talking to Elise. I just know it.
Yay.
But the rest of you, don't be strangers. And everyone who's in another country right now, go to sleep.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Immediately.
All right. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Yes.